Hello everybody, this is Carol from Friendly Quail. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you're one of my regulars. I am going to do a video today on my bird journal challenge, and I'm going to be working mostly on pages, but I wanted to show you this as well. Hashtag bird journal challenge. These are the things that we are doing. If you'd like to join, feel free and just use the hashtag to when you post, so that we can all see what you're doing. Today I'm going to start with the pages, but I wanted to show you this cover. Now this is not glued on, because I'm not going to glue it on till the text block and everything's in. It'll be like the last thing I put on, just because I don't want to injure any of this. But I did get the stick on, and I did do some stitching to hold it on as well. And I went outside and got some sphagnum moss off some of my bushes and in my yard, and then I nuked it with boiling or a cup of water in with it. I nuked it in a paper bag. I had it in here, and till the water was boiling, and let it go, so that, because this is known to have bugs in it. And then I threw it in the freezer for a day as well, just to make sure. Now this, then I glued that on, and it's a little bit loose in some spots, but it's all held on really well. And I think I'm going to also do this, but I want to make this look old, like rusty. So that's going to be on there. Now this is how it works. This will be glued on over here. There's a magnet here, and up here is your secret pocket right here. And I do not have a notch in there, but it's just for you to put a secret in. So that'll be like that. And there is a magnet here, and it's also under the fabric underneath here. So that is going to be my cover, and I'm really pleased with how it turned out. My husband's even impressed. He's like, oh, that turned out really good. So I'm going to take this and try to paint it up so it looks rusty. I think I want to put a little tiny dab of glue on this part right here. That didn't get down. Don't want that to come off. There. So that will be the cover. So for now, I'm going to put this aside. Okay. This, I also added this below it, and if you have trouble getting that in there, you just flip that up and put it in. I think it's still enough room anyway. But I glued this down, and then I also glued it down on the back. I have my little Anna ode, or how do you say that? Homage to Anna. Not Anna. Oh God, my granddaughter's name is Anna. Anna. And she says it doesn't bother her, but it bothers me that I say Anna by mistake. But that's because that's my granddaughter's name. But these are my homage to Anna, made by Granath, who I'm doing this challenge with. She always puts some labels on the back of her journals, and I have started doing that, and I just love it. So got that from her. I did put this on. I put glue, and then I also used brads, and I've got some tape over those just to help. I glued as well under the tape, and I'm ready to start getting pages. So I'm going to put this out of the way. And the book that this is from is The Story of the Great War, Volume 5. It's about World War I. copyright 1916. I'm going to take this off of here and put it on in my book. But I don't want to use this front page because it's got this and this drawing and this covering it up and, you know, the story of the Great War and all that. I don't want that on my front page. So I'm just going to cut this out and add that to one of my pages. I'll do something with it so that it's in the book, but it's not, I'm not going to use this first page. I will be using some pages from the book, however. I made myself a template because this is put together. It's very strange. You can see holes going along here. They like took a signature and stitched it along like this. And they bent it up like this. And then they sewed the signatures in like this. You can see this. So some of it has sewing like this, but this was all, these are all like in on top of each other like this. I've never seen a book like this before. It was very strange. Not that hard to get apart, but just very strange. So I have, I need to do some reinforcing, and I need to cut these down a little bit because of the way they were made. It's bigger than you can see. This is sticking out. I have to cut some off, and I'm also cutting a little bit off the length to make it more in line with a folded sheet of paper, of copy paper. So I'm going to be doing some reinforcing and cutting down. I also went through and this is, I have a few that I just took pictures of that I could put in the book. I have some of these like index. This is from a bird book that was Wisconsin, Minnesota birds that I had from when I lived in Wisconsin. So I'm going to have some small pages like this. Some of these have birds on, so I'll be using those. I figured I found some. This is a type of thing you would iron on and then cross stitch. I found a couple of those that had birds on, so I'm going to use those. I might use something like this. I have a few things that I pulled out of my already done, but not used. This is actually eco-dyed. And then I pulled out some pages from the Greg Writer textbooks. I remember that if you didn't write neatly, they would say it looked like chicken scratch, so that's a bird thing. And so I pulled some of this out because I thought, okay, bird scratching or chicken scratching. Obviously it's shorthand, but I'm going to use some of these. I pulled out a couple of things that I might, use as an extension for a flip. This one had like a, it looks like a goose, but I think that's a hand. I don't know, but it looks like a goose. I have a few pages like this. I pulled some of these out. This was from a Japanese book. Just for some interesting pages. These were some smaller ones that were from another book I didn't use. And then I pulled out, I have, first of all, tea-dyed paper. Or I should say coffee-dyed. This is all coffee-dyed paper. I'm not sure how much I'm going to use. This is done with the crunch, where you crunch it all up in a ball and let it dry, and then you iron it. I have a couple like that. but mostly just regular coffee dyed paper. And I'll be using that. And then I pulled out this. This is newsprint, and it's a good height, and it's bigger, so I can do this, and I can make some flips with those. And then I pulled out some of my Eco-Dyed alcohol ink, Eco-Dyed, that I made my alcohol ink. I have a video, it's from a couple years ago, and then put plants on and then sprayed alcohol inks over it. Put another page on top of it. And that method, so I have some of those pulled out. I won't be using all of these, but I pulled some out that I thought, well, I'll probably stick more with the blues because of the bluebird on the cover. These are just a couple of pages that I was experimenting with using the Distress ink pads. Got some stuff on there. And maybe those might fit. So that's so far. And like I said, I always pull out way more than I need, but I'm going to try to start putting some signatures together. So these are smaller even than the template. So I folded this one in half, and then I thought, you know, I could fold it, and I'm not going to do it with this one because I already folded it. But I could fold it even with this and have a shorter page here, and then put something along this edge to extend it. So kind of a mini Franken page. And I might do some Franken pages for in here. But I'm not sure. I'm just getting started. So I'm going to start with these because I do want to use some of those in my book. And the paper isn't too bad. I have to crack it back and forth, a corner back and forth many times before it falls off. This was one that was also glued. So this one's in a little worse shape than a lot of the other ones are. But I think I'm going to use this masking tape. And I'm going to get started. It's pretty sticky. So I don't think I'm going to use glue. But I will put it on. Now, only because this one was so bad, I'm going to put some on both sides. Some of them I won't do that. Get that. Cutting it off. And I'm going to just cut it off after I get it on. It's easier to line it up like this. Okay. I'm going to get this done for all of these, and then I will cut them down. So that will be, of course this makes it thicker too, so I don't want to put double on if I don't have to. I'm going to do this to all of them, and then I'll do it. We're going to be going up to Wisconsin I have a class reunion, and we're going to visit relatives. So that's coming up. And I'm trying to get lots of stuff done before we go. So, let's do a few more. Hope everyone's doing well. I feel like we're coming, this now peak season for hurricane. So my husband's nervous about leaving during hurricane season. But I figured we'll get our house set up the right way, and nothing we can do about it. So I don't worry. He worries. He worries about everything. So I like to order from Amazon just because it's so convenient, and they have the things that you can't find stuff in the stores anymore. It's disgusting. I mean, I used to be able to find all kinds of stuff in stores. Of course, because people are going on places like Amazon, I guess some of the stores are closing. I guess Joann's is bankrupt, going bankrupt. Okay. But I went to Hobby Lobby the other day, and they just don't have the same things in their sewing departments and stuff that Joann's had. I don't know how Michael's is these days. But this one, you can see some glue on here. Didn't realize that. Okay. I could have put it on that side. I don't think I want to double it up if I don't have to. We'll see. It's pretty much coming off. But it's kind of frustrating when you can't find what you want. I had redone I made a lampshade. I used an old lampshade, and I pulled it off and used it for a template and made a new lampshade. And I did that a while ago. And it's on the lamp, but it has no trim over the edges. So I've been looking for trim, and I finally found some, but it's 3/4 inch, and I really wanted 1/2 inch because of the size of the lampshade. That it just wouldn't have to be as big, but I think it'll work. Okay. So I'm thinking 7 signatures. I am going to have some things that are a little bulkier. So I'll have to be careful about how many signatures I put in, so it's not alligator mouth. Oh, and I haven't done my flip through on leisure hours, even though it's finished. I will do that in a little bit in a little while, because with being that we're going to be gone, I don't want to put it on my Etsy shop until I'm going to be back. And so you'll see the flip through when I'm going to be putting it up on Etsy. Instead of right now. So you'll have to wait to see the finished product, but it will get put up eventually. I've also been going to the doctor again. Kind of an ongoing thing that I've had problems with, with my digestive system. And I get a colonoscopy and they go, oh, you don't have cancer. Well, I'm glad I don't have cancer. My son died of colon cancer. I'm really glad I don't have cancer. But that doesn't help me with the symptoms I'm having. So nobody ever would follow through. So I went to a new gastroenterologist, and he said, yeah, you should have had follow-up for this. So now I'm having tests. So I had one the other day. I had to go for an ultrasound of my pelvis. I'm having I have to wait for it. I'm going to be having an endoscopy where they go down through your mouth. And I have one other MRI that I have to have. That is frustrating because it's an unusual one, and they don't do it everywhere. So I might have to pay for it myself. And then I'll get 50% back, but it's going to be pricey. But I think I'm going to have to do it. I'm going to see the doctor on Friday again. So, well, we'll just keep going. Here, I used to laugh when we used to make fun of old people who always just talked about their health problems and stuff, but boy, I don't make fun of it anymore. Now I'm doing it. This one I thought was interesting because it had a map, and it folds out. And look at all the space you could write on, and then there's a map. It folds out again. It's actually, flip, flip, flip. And it is glued on to this page as a plate, how plates are. So I thought that would be fun to put in there. Okay, so we have our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I need to cut them down. And let's see how much the tape adds. Look how thick that is compared to over here. So now I'm going to be cutting those down, and I'll start. I made a template, so I know how much to take off. And I'm going to start folding up some of these other pages. I don't think you need to be with me while I do that, and we're at like 24 minutes, so I think I'm going to end for today. Get some of these pages put together, decide how I'm going to Franken-page some of them, and I'll be back in another video with the next step. So thanks for being with me today. This is Carol from Friendly Quail saying, do something you love to do every day, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.